particularly those in North America. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sharak Abu Jabal, and with me I have...
Hi, I'm Rabbi Sheikh Gidon, or Jadua, and I'm with sonsofthenegev.com. I'm from the house of Judah, a redeemed firstborn son to the family of Aharon. So once again, we'd like to welcome all 12 tribes to this video, and we hope I get something new out of it.
Oh, the provision has to be in Zion.
Right?
So how do we know where that is, and which way is that? Where is Zion at? Is it in Africa, America? Where is Zion? How will we find it?
Well, to identify Zion, remember Abraham's portion is there, so Abraham's land is there.
Mm-hmm.
Ancient Beersheba, Tel Sheva is there, right? The city of David is there. Solomon's temple, Mount Moriah, is there. So we located geographically those questions, you see. But another key point is, let's see what the Most High has to say for helping us finding our way and giving us some more clues about what we'll be able to identify in Zion. Okay. All right. So we're going to go to Jeremiah 6 and 16. Targums of Jeremiah. We'll go to chapter 6.
You can go to it comparing your KJV. Jeremiah 6:16.
Right? 6, verse 16. And here's what it says. Thus says Yahweh. So it automatically references straight to what the Most High is speaking. This is not,
somebody else's opinion or some man's.
No, this ain't any man's words. This is thus saith Yahweh. Stand upon the highways and see, and ask the pathways which are from old. Which road is it that is straight? Now that's a reference to Abraham walking between the divisions.
Okay.
You see?
Because he already told us to look to Abraham.
He said, look to Abraham, and Abraham walked through the divisions, and the road was straight.
And that was the safe place.
And that was the safe place to pass through the judgment. You see?
Because there's a judgment. We already pointed
There's a judgment. Abraham saw the judgment, people going to Gehenna.
On the hill.
So he saw them going there to be judged, and he walked on the safe place and transitioned over. They said, look, and which road is it that is straight? Then he gives a direct command. Then walk on it and find rest for yourselves.
Because you've been in captivity for 400 years.
Exactly.
You're not resting. You've been serving with rigor. You have no peace.
You have no peace, no justice. So again, just in referencing Jeremiah, this seconds the first commandment as given to Isaiah for us to now turn and return to the land and to keep the Abrahamic customs and traditions in conjunction with the law.
And it puts you on the straight path.
Puts you on the straight path.
To escape the judgment.
To escape the judgment.
Because he said he was going to judge every place that had us in captivity.
He's judging the whole world. Because we went to the four corners. So.
Sounds something like World War III, maybe?
World War III.
Whatever it is.
World War Apocalypse. Whatever you want to call it.
Okay.
Now, let's see. We're going to go to Jeremiah 50. 4 and 8 and see if we can get further instruction on this.
Jeremiah 50. Remember, you always comparing the Targums to your KJV.
So pull out your King James and you can go ahead, pause the video, and go look at it, read it. But I'm going to read straight from the Targums because you don't have that. Those days and at that time, says Yahweh. Now, we know who's speaking, the Most High.
Yeah.
Right? The house of Israel, they and the sons of Judah together shall associate in their exile. This clearly states that the house of Israel, who's scattered here amongst the nations, and the house of Judah, who's scattered to the four corners, will associate. So we have a means of communication now that we can associate internationally all around the world, even though we are scattered. Thank you, YouTube, Facebook, and all you social media platforms, because you have just made this prophecy true. And so by us trying to reconnect with one another, we are reconnecting, and this prophecy is true. So we shall associate in their exiles. And when they were weeping, they were exiled. And when they returned from the land of their exile. Did you see that?
I saw that.
And when they returned from the land of their exile. So you got on punishment and you got sent over to captivity.
Right.
Now you weeping and gnashing your teeth and you worn out, and it says now you got to just turn around and come back.
Because your sentence is over.
Because your sentence is over.
You served your sentence.
It's over.
You was judged. You had days you had to serve. And when they let you out of jail, you can't stay.
You can't stay at the prison.
You got to go home.
You can't even stay at the prison gate.
You got to go.
It says, and they return from the land of their exile, they shall seek the worship of Yahweh Elohim, Yahweh their God, or the Lord their God, or the Most High their power. Whatever you guys want to say, it doesn't change this one fact. You must return to the land and do this law.
Because that's what got you kicked out. Because you did.
You got kicked out trying to do other stuff.
Yeah.
Everything else. You didn't want to do this law, which is in the land.
And that remedy is in the King James.
In the King James.
He said you got kicked out for not doing his law and worshiping other gods. He said to fix this, to return to the law, repent.
Absolutely.
And don't worship no more fallen gods.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
See?
So we going on to, and then also we went to, what did Jeremiah 50 verse 16 and 17 have to say?
So we're going to take a look down. We'll skip down to verse 16 and 17. And it says, destroy the king of Babylon and him who seizes the sword at the time of slaughter from before the sword of the enemy. For it is like wine which inebriates. Let each man turn to his people, and each man flee to his land. So that means that the melting pot of America has to dissolve. Every person has to flee to their home country.
To their people.
To their people. So I'm here in the land amongst Ishmaelites, and I'm recognized as a seed of Abraham right here. Now, are there Israelites in Africa? Yes. But that's Ham's land. That is not Israel.
No.
And there's plenty of water being chased out of these places. Can I go to Europe or South America? Yeah, but that's still not Abraham's land. Abraham's land is right here. So as the seed of Abraham, I have to flee to my land. And the word flee means to run from war. You know war is coming. You know it's impending. You know you're under siege. You know you're in a hostile environment or condition. It says
no justice, no peace.
No justice, no peace. Flee to your homeland. See? Now let's see if this applies to us. The people, Israel, are scattered. Yasharel is scattered. The kings have driven them into exile.
They did.
Right? We know that happened. Right? First, the king of Assyria ruled over them. And after that, this Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Babylon, has swept them away. Ain't that what happened?
That happened.
You see? And if you continue reading, it continues on with the explanation. So, the instructions are return to the land. Now we have the first set of instructions which says, look to Abraham. So you're going to keep the traditions, the customs, and the commandments, the laws. But then it also says, return to the land. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So let's make sure we have this fully understand. And we're going to now turn to Jeremiah 50, continuing in Jeremiah 50. We're going to go to verse 28. the sound of those who flee and are rescued from the land of Babylon, to declare the punishment of Yahweh Elohim, or the Lord our God, the punishment of his temple. So you have to flee, you know what I'm saying? If you flee and are rescued from the land of your captivity, you come here and you're coming to declare the punishment of the Most High against the nations. Why does the Most High say this specific line? Once Noah was on the ark, he declared judgment against the world. He had to be at the designated place, at the designated time, and then the Most High shut the door and sealed them in.
That's what happened.
So he had the ark had to be built.
Okay.
It had to be stocked.
Okay.
All the animals, the food, the people, everybody and everything, every beast, every cattle had to be on it, right? But in doing all of it, after it was built, everything, and he got on it, judgment was then, the punishment of Yahweh was then doled out.
That was the pattern.
That's the pattern. That's exactly what this verse is saying.
Okay.
So, especially my Torah-only people, a lot of the judgment is being held up because you remain. And you remain because you didn't know that this was available. That what we have here, that being in this land was even possible.
Okay.
So now that you know, you now have a choice. You have an option. You can come, we can go over this law, we can do this law, we can fulfill our covenant in the land, or you can just be rebellious and maybe you waiting for somebody or a cloud to come down and scoop you up. But the Most High never driven us out
He never drove us out with a cloud.
with a cloud.
Or somebody.
He never picked us up and sprinkled us out. No. He literally drove us out with war. He drove us out with war. And he chases us back with war. Because even in Egypt, Pharaoh chased us with chariots to the Red Sea, and then he consumed them. He killed the soldiers. You see?
So now he's saying, return.
Return, flee. Because after this, I'm going to chase you out with war. You can continue reading between the chapters to get that.
Yeah, read down on through Jeremiah 33, 34. It continues to.
Well, let's go to 33. Thus says Yahweh of hosts, Yahweh Sabaoth, the Israelites and the sons of Judah were oppressed together, and all those who took them captive held them fast and refused to let them go. Sound like captivity to me. They refused to let some of y'all out, but some of y'all just refused to leave. Their Redeemer is strong. Yahweh Sabaoth, the Lord of hosts is his name. He will certainly exact the payment of their humiliation so as to shatter the wicked ones of the earth and to bring trembling to all the inhabitants of Babylon. Now you have heard him say it himself. The last time, I'm just repeating, I just said that. But now the Most High is saying it himself. So come or don't come, but either way, he's warning you because he's about to dole out this punishment.
And not just Torah only.
Not just Torah only.
Everybody can.
Everybody can come. Everybody can come. That's those who seek the truth. Now, if you don't want the truth, you think you're going to come here and you're going to continue your own thing, and the Most High is going to either force you into subjection or he's literally going to burn you off. He's going to cut down the numbers.
Yeah.
So we're not safe here. Just because you come here doesn't mean you've arrived in the sanctuary like he's missing this area.
Right.
He's going to purge this area too, but he's only keeping the lawful ones alive. Those who keep this law.
Okay. And we move on to Jeremiah 51.
So Jeremiah 51:50. This is another specific instruction, right? 51:50. You who have been rescued from the sword, which is war, go into exile. Going to exile. Yeah, you're now exiled from the nation you've been living in. And do not hold back. Remember from afar the worship of Yahweh. So remember that we have told you these things about coming to serve this law and doing the covenant. And let Jerusalem come into your mind. So now let what we're telling you about where Jerusalem is, the borders between Beersheba and the Dead Sea, down here in the Negev, let it come into your mind to come here. Think sons of the Negev. Think Negev. If you just get down here, you really can't miss the desert. It's kind of big. Really big. So these are your instructions.
That ain't no good to us, is it?
Well, if we look up in verse 44, what you're pointing out, it says, this you won't find in the King James. It says, and I will punish those who worship Bel in Babylon. So if you're in Babylon worshiping, because you can't do this in Babylon.
And
You can't keep Torah in Babylon. It's not possible.
And America is the fields of Babylon.
America is the fields of Babylon. And that is Bel. That Bel, Baal, Bel, whatever you want to call it, for our purposes of what's the stronghold in America, where we came from, literally is the King James Version and the New Testament. So the Messiah that it produces, the one who does not redeem, who does not save, these two sticks, you know what I'm saying? Or the tree, or whatever you want to call it. This specifically does not work. It does not line up. As a matter of fact, it tells you, if you stay there, you worshiping this Baal, you want to see him save you, he says, here's what you're going to get. You're going to get punishment. Period. Then verse 45 says, go out from the midst, my people, and let each man rescue his soul from the strength of Yahweh's wrath.
How you do that? Flee.
Flee. You know judgment is coming. We're telling you judgment is coming. The question was, is this the time? And we showed you the dates. We gave you numbers. We gave you the counts, all based on scripture, some of which you have. You have Jubilees. You have Jasher. Now we're telling you to get the Torah for another $15. Each one of these Targums is $100 a piece. You can get this stuff, but I'm telling you, above all else, get out. I give the Targums away for free. I have PDFs. I'll leave the PDF links in the download below so that you will at least have the Torah of the Targums. You will get the thick version like this one, and you'll be able to see what the Jerusalem Targum says, what the Jonathan Ben Uziel says together, so that you can make sound decisions. So it'll be the most expansive you can have.
So again, the people are going to ask, well, what's the sign? Because the Most High would have gave us a sign, Joshua and Caleb perhaps. Maybe.
Well, let's take a look at that. What was the sign before?
Okay.
Right? So before, when we came into the land, you left the land with Moses, and all those people, the adults of that generation, got burnt off for their idolatry or disobedience of some sort.
And giving a false report on the land.
Except Joshua and Caleb. Joshua, who was the son of Nun of the tribe of Ephraim, and Caleb, the son of Jennifer, who was from Judah. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, also went in. So Phinehas was a Levite. So these three leaders, the Levitical leader, Ephraim with the birthright, and Judah with the kingship, went into the land to possess it. Right? So now, to take a look at what that looks like, we're going to go to Numbers 14.
Numbers 14.
And we're going to look at verse number 6. And Joshua, bar none, And Caleb bar Jennifer, which is nothing but son. Okay, bar is son in the ancient Hebrew, so we don't. It's not what they looked and called Bane, but it's bar or bear. So Joshua bar Nun and Caleb bar Jennifer, the explorers of the land, rent their clothes. They ripped their clothes. They were so angry and spoke to the congregation, saying, "The land we went to see is an exceedingly good land." This land is an exceedingly good land. Would you not agree?
Cain, I agree.
It's flowing with milk and honey. It's flowing with opportunity. It's flowing with everything that you need outside of the Israeli government system. 100%. Not under their rulership or their rules. We live on the land as people of the land. We don't even fool with them. If Yahweh hath pleasure in us, he will bring us into the land and give it to us, a land producing milk and honey. That's right there, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Only do not rebel against the commandments of Yahweh, and you need not fear the people of the land, for they are delivered into our hands. The strength of their power has failed from them, but the word of Yahweh will be our helper. Fear them not. So we are saying this right now to you today.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about the people in the land. Their strength has failed. You coming back, obeying the word of Yahweh, which you hear here today, to come to us in the land, the word will be your strength.
Okay.
Now we're going to go to Numbers 25. Let's get further clarity.
Numbers 25.
Verses 11 and 12. I'm going to start at verse 10 actually. And Yahweh spake with Moshe, saying, Phinehas the zealous, the son of Eleazar, bar Ador, Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, Aaron's son, the priest, hath turned away mine anger from the children of Israel, in that when zealous with my zeal. So you can be zealous with the Most High zeal. Mm-hmm. And this was Phinehas, what he was. Mm-hmm. He wanted to keep the land he wanted to keep the law so right,
right,
that when he saw wrongdoing, he did what the law said do, because they was doing it openly in the camp. Mm-hmm. He hath slain the sinners who were among them, and for his sake I have not destroyed the children of Israel in my indignation. You won't see that in the Targum. But
you won't see that in King James.
You won't see that in King James. That is only available in the Targum. Mm-hmm. He says he was going to slay Israel in his anger. You see? So now let's look at this key. He says, swearing by my name, I say to him, behold, I decree to him my covenant of peace, and will make him an angel. What? That's not in the King James. He says, behold, this is Yahweh speaking, I decree to him my covenant of peace, and will make him an angel of the covenant, that he may ever live to announce the redemption at the end of days. So,
the end of the days of the captivity.
The end of the days of the captivity, not the end of the world.
Right.
So now we usher in a new kingdom, and the only thing that I have been waiting here for this whole entire year was for a son of Aaron to return, to sit down and review all that I have created and made and worked with all that I have put together to restore and bring back the children of Israel, and to say, it is good.
It is good.
It is good.
It's good, huh? It's good.
It's lawful on every side.
Okay.
You see?
It is good.
So now we have the son of Aaron here to tell you, come on home.
Come home. Return. We've given you the time. Flee. You know, the provision is here in Zion. All you got to do is make a choice and make a move. Okay?
And now, if you think I am a bit strange, let's check what Exodus chapters 23 and 20 says. Behold, I will send an angel before thee to keep thee in the way, and to bring thee into the place of my habitation which I have prepared. You see? So when you find in Numbers 25, verses 10 and 11 and 12, and Exodus 23, the Most High makes it clear, I'm sending an angel, but that angel is a person. And this person will be of blood lineage to Aaron. And this person will come at the end of the captivity by my count to see that the preparations were made to say that they are good, so that the time of Israel's redemption can begin. Now, I didn't write this. Now, I did my job, and I made all the preparations and made sure that the preparations were there, so I was able to bring people in the land. I had the means to bring them in. But for a whole entire year, I have struggled to get people to return, because I had to follow the law in that a Levite would have to come at the appointed time, because they haven't been here.
Okay.
You see? So now we have a Levite here, and he's looking over everything that I've done and the law that I'm teaching, and he's saying, this law, Targums, holy. But the King James,
Unclean.
it's unclean, it's unholy, don't touch it. And by the covenant commandment of the Most High, I have to make the proper designation according to the law as administrated by the Levite. Is that not lawful?
It's lawful.
So, I can only do what the law says to do and say what the law says, as one who is redeemed unto the house of Aaron. So, that being said, being of the house of Judah does not make me over and above the law.
Okay.
It makes me more subject to it, and to be a first partaker and a leader in it.
Okay.
So we've established that we have provisions. We've established what the time is and when the time begins and ends by estimation. And we have established what would be necessary for the people to know.
Okay.
And the strange part about it is, we are sitting here letting you know
To come back home. Come. Return. Gather yourselves in troops and return to the land, that we may keep the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments as commanded to us, so that we may receive the written promises, because they belong to us. But you have to make a choice, and you have to make a move. So my call is to you, particularly those in America, to return home. The provision is here.
The provision is here. You can contact us at sonsofthenegev.com. You'll see it on the screen below. Gather yourself together. You heard the man.
In troops.
Get your little groups together.
Torah only brothers, you already should understand. And everybody else, you can just come and learn. This is the call. Return. Come home.
Sonsofthenegev.com. We hope to see you in Israel real soon. Shalom.